going on?
Yo, it's kind of weird because we don't really know if this thing really live. You get what I'm saying?
Live and record. So.
Yeah, but
are we on YouTube?
Because we
are.
Okay.
We are live on
supposed to be on Facebook.
YouTube and Facebook. Right
Okay.
All
right, let's get it. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Ooh, that was so fake.
I'm doing well.
I'm doing well. That was so fake.
Also,
so fake.
that was a little corny the way he
It was.
said it.
I'm doing so well.
I'm
I'm doing well.
Well, did anybody do anything positive today?
Of course.
What y'all do today?
I ate.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I took a little walk with my son today, man, and actually we walked by the cemetery on the way back, and he asked me, Dad, what's that? So I told him, I said, hey, listen, this is where dad people, are laid to rest.
right.
And he said, Marquita's dad is dead.
Oh.
No, seriously, because that's the only, so
Oh,
far
yeah, the
that's really the
funeral.
only
Yeah.
death that he's been.
Yeah.
So I used that moment to
Okay.
try to teach him about death. He's so caught up in video games,
Right.
which means you can come back. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I guess I'm gonna say it's a negative, but it's a positive because it was an opportunity to try to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Teach him a little bit.
Okay, that's cool.
Nothing. Oh, you already said nothing, right?
I didn't
I was
say
really
nothing.
I was waiting on
Did
you
I
to hear
say-
if you
Did you
had
say?
anything
I know I
positive.
didn't say
Yeah, I
nothing.
don't think she didn't.
See,
Yeah.
my positivity was not dealing with your negative attitude today.
Oh.
That's always a positive thing.
Wow.
See?
This is a straight shutdown. Why she do that?
It's really ridiculous, man, because I don't do that.
Yeah, he has no words. It's okay. You do anything positive today, Marquita?
Yes, I was up before 12 o'clock out in these streets with my best friend,
Yes.
spending money.
Well,
Spending money, that's what we make it for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I spent about 70 today, and I ain't even leave the house.
Oh,
Except for
Jesus.
that walk.
well.
Well.
On food.
Oh, geez. $70 on food for just you and JoJo?
I know it was crazy. See, right now my car is messed up, right? So Ebony's gone, so of course I ain't got but one. She took it. So I couldn't get him nothing to eat. She left early this morning. She had something to do. So
Yeah, we was in these streets.
yeah, $40. That was $40 for IHOP.
$40?
Yeah, because between the meal, the what's that fee they charge you just for using them service fee or something?
Oh,
Driver fee.
Yeah, driver.
The-
Yeah.
Oh, so you had it delivered.
Yeah, man, it was like $40. But I will say this: it was the
$40.
best chocolate chip pancakes I have ever had.
Jesus.
They better be.
Hello.
Yeah, I know,
For
right?
that
For
much
$40.
money.
Hello,
I
$40.
should've walked to the grocery store.
And made some daggone pancakes
Yeah, man.
You
with
had
some
waffles in the
chocolate
freezer.
But
chocolate
y'all remember,
chips.
we said last show.
Oh,
it's
cooking at
cheaper
home.
it's cheaper
Oh, to eat out.
Hey, look, I put that itch to the
What?
test.
Well, they said cheaper to eat out, not cheaper for you to order food delivered to the house.
Right.
We ain't test them numbers.
Right.
Oh, well, them numbers is out. That's off the charts. So I'm just gonna let you know
Right.
that now.
Right. Okay. Well, I just want to welcome everybody to Enamored. It's your girl, Miss Keita.
Hey.
M to the Z, Keita. Wow, just messed me all up. Okay. But before we get started, I just want to let everybody know to please like, subscribe, share. We are on Facebook, which is Enamored. We're on TikTok and Instagram, officially Enamored. And so yeah, before we get started,
YouTube.
oh, I'm sorry, YouTube. I forgot to add that. My bad. YouTube.
Enamored Podcast.
Enamored Podcast. You are correct.
Yes.
My
y'all
bad.
Subscribe.
So just want to give a little disclaimer before we get started. Our opinions and views, they do not represent any platforms that we're on. The opinions and views are just that, our opinions and views. They do not represent our employers. You may hear some foul language, or you may hear something that may be explicit. If you feel that will offend you, you need to go ahead and keep it moving. So, on today's show, we're going to talk about a variety of things, from family, sex, sex,
Excited about that.
and a little bit of
Oh,
stress.
that's always a positive conversation.
Well, yeah, I guess
Oh.
it can be.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Well, I don't know about y'all situation.
you
but,
might not.
Oh, Jesus.
Mine's always been positive.
All right.
Anyway,
So,
Jesus.
one of the questions that was online, would you rather a father be 100% absent rather than inconsistent? And before anyone answers, I just want to say the lady on social media made a comment, and I definitely agree with her. An inconsistent father is way more damaging to a child than an absent one. So, again, how is an absent father more harmful than an inconsistent one?
Okay, so which part of that question are we answering first? Are we answering her question or the topic?
Well,
question?
it's basically the same.
So, what do you think is worse,
Right. Which one is more harmful?
absent or inconsistent?
Inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt like consistency is required for the development of a child, right? Well, it all plays a part on the development of the child. However, a father that is consistent and not in the household, but he's present, giving his time, I think that holds so much more value than anything. So if you are inconsistent, you might as well not even be there.
Right.
They might as well not, because they have a saying. They say what you don't know won't hurt you,
Right.
and I totally agree with it. If a child doesn't know that father, yes, they have the wonder in the back of their mind and all of that. However, it's better than knowing who your father is and just knowing that he's not showing up for you in any kind of way.
Right.
So I'm gonna let everybody else chime in.
I agree, because it's better than for a child to get his hopes up that he's gonna see a father, and then
Right.
multiple times you get let down. Then instead of when your father's just not there, I mean, you don't think about it.
Right.
Only thing you worried about is your mother, or whoever your guardian is. That's the only person you really looking at now. And I also think because sometimes parents that have been absent or inconsistent later on realize oh, I should have been there, or I should have been there more. I feel like it might be a little easier for a father that's absent completely to come back to actually build a relationship than it is for somebody that's inconsistent. The reason why I feel that way is because if you're inconsistent, you've already shown your son exactly your flaws and this and that, and because your child has actually seen things, it's actually going to be even a lot more difficult, because then it's going to be harder for him to actually unsee what he's seen growing up.
Right.
Right. Justin?
Hey man, I'm liking what y'all talking about, man. It sounds good.
The talker has nothing to say?
He has
I ain't
nothing
talking.
to say.
No man,
Oh, my goodness.
my father's been I can only go off of life experience a lot of times, man.
Right.
And I thought about this quite a bit, and my father, man, he's been quite present in my life. So I can't really attest to somebody being absent. However, I will say this: my father, you can be present and absent at the same time.
Right.
And when I was really young, I felt that way, and it's no fault to him. he was trying to take care of us. But
Right.
when you trying to work 3 jobs, how how much can you take care of?
Right.
That other side of being a parent, a father, which is and he did very well when he was there though. As far as like when he was home, he was with us. Like taking us out, taking us to the park, playing basketball, even though he can't play no basketball.
Oh gosh.
Really?
Oh, Mr. Ben.
Right.
But what I'm saying is he spent that time though, and I have all those memories.
Right.
But I wish it would have been more, So, but he's still alive, So I talked to him. I talked to him yesterday. I talked to my dad. He's present. So I think that somebody says, "Would you rather?" I don't see why we need to put. Why it gotta be either or, Like, even if the dad is a complete a-hole and he's never around and he's inconsistent, give the kids still allow them the opportunity to know their father.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because truth be told, it may mess around in you. Because in my family, you ain't gotta have cuss just because you a woman. You know what I'm saying, a mother. I think we got that misconstrued quite a bit, You keep on playing them silly games, you might lose your kid. And a lot of these women be using their children as some kind of meal ticket and some kind of sword against the father, That kind of stuff gonna come back and start biting you in the tail. So if there's a relationship, whether it's not how you think it should be, you should I think that you should still allow it nonetheless. That's just my opinion. But in all seriousness, man, my father's been quite present, so I can't really attest to an absent father. But I would say, in my opinion, that if someone is willing to be there, whether it's for a minute or an hour, allow them to do that. A lot of these people be making these assumptions about. I see a lot of women in comments making these assumptions about, hey, I feel like it's let me get a side note though. It's always women though, right? I feel like it's always women in these comments. The majority of the time, not all the time, but the majority of the time, it's always women making these comments talking about something. I'm going to protect my child.
What are you protecting him from?
The father, because he's inconsistent. So I'm just going to take him out of the situation altogether. I don't think you had the right to go off on y'all know the show I love, Grey's Anatomy. They love using this line. You don't get to say that to me. I think in that aspect of a mother, you don't get to make that choice.
Right.
Whether you don't get to make that choice, whether or not a child can be in the presence of that father, whether he's inconsistent or not, right? I think that he should be consistent. Don't get me wrong, but you don't get to make that choice for the child.
But is it healthy though?
This is what I'm saying though. Whether it's healthy or unhealthy, y'all have to realize this too. We grow. What's that saying? And I know y'all can help me. Diamonds are made under pressure, right? So we grow through all scenarios in life. They don't always have to be good, right? So it doesn't matter if the father is a good father, bad father, as long as he's not abusive. Don't get me wrong. But whether he, that emotional, is he there emotionally? It doesn't matter because that's going to shape them as they grow older.
What if he is abusive?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's a whole nother topic. Because the mother could be abusive too. But any parent that's abusive, then I would say, yeah, you should keep them from the child. Or you can have them meet the child under, those stipulations such as, I'm going to be present. We're going to go to the park together. Like, I'm not allowing you to be alone with my child. Yeah, so, within reason. But if he's not abusive, we're talking about a normal person, just typically a deadbeat father. You get what I'm saying? If he's just something like that, then I think that shapes the child. Because there's a lot of people who use situations like that and became great men because they didn't want to be like their father. Some people look at their father and want to emulate them.
Right.
Some people look at them and say, this is the motivation I need to be better than this sucker. Excuse me.
That's true.
Right? So,
Right.
Man.
And that's when and what you just said, that's whether he's present or not. whether he's inconsistent or consistent.
Excuse me.
Cause I know personally, like, I love my dad, but one thing I don't want to be like him.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's been a truck driver for 26, 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that time, you know, he's been on the road. There's been a lot of times especially in my teenage years, where I get home from work, he's gone.
Right.
You know, I didn't see him, but I understood what he had to do what he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when I have kids, I don't want to be in that predicament to where I can't be home. I can't spend that time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And just, well, there's a lot of other things, but you know, there's a lot of things that you can learn from your parents, whether it's good or bad, and you just gotta take it for what it is, and change it for what's best for you and what's gonna be better for you in the future,
Mm-hmm.
and what's gonna better the future you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I agree, man.
I agree as well.
All right.
Marquita,
Okay.
did you answer?
I did. I agree
She
with.
was first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. I was trying to
Yeah.
capture everybody's
Yes, ma'am.
thoughts and opinions on it.
All right. So, sort of staying on topic about fathers and kids, how does having children in the house affect someone's sex life? I understand that Justin and Ebony, you're the only ones that have kids, you know, in the house. But to remix that question, how does it affect you when you have company, friends, or family come to visit, including when you go to your friends or family's house? So the first question about having
Mouthful.
kids,
That's a mouthful
about having
for
kids
sure.
in the house.
We just say other people in the house. I think you need to be respectful, man. I think everybody has that story of they walked in on their parents. And oh my God, that is not something that you want to see or imagine. Man.
Right.
So let's go ahead. Oh Lord. Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
Right.
No.
No.
I ain't got no Burger King story. I'm gonna keep this to myself. I ain't got
Not the
no.
Burger King.
Yeah, but you don't want that, man. So I say you just gotta find those ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I give y'all.
There's ways to it. It's not as hard as you think.
Okay, the
Let's
professional.
Be for real. Right. Let's be for real. It's not
certainly
as
the
hard.
professional.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Where them
Anyway.
crickets? Or that.
Right. Yeah, it's not as hard as you think. You just have to, and it helps. You got to be a little creative. Get a little creative.
Everybody's
It
so
makes-
creative.
No, they're not. What I'm saying
Not
is,
at all.
Get a little creative. Find a way. You may have to step into my office
Uh-oh.
for a
Hello.
quick little, 5-minute. I need to have a little 5-minute meeting in the conference room.
5 minutes?
So
Wait. 5 minutes though? What?
at times,
Oh.
look.
Well, I guess having children, you gotta get what you can get.
When you got guests in the house, you gotta do what you gotta do. So
Okay.
sometimes, look, every session ain't gotta be 30, 45, an hour and a half
Jesus.
long sessions. Sometimes you
Sometimes
Look.
just need enough just to
Right.
satisfy. Yeah, I
exactly.
understand.
So
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Oh.
I'm gonna need you to meet me back in the conference room.
Mm.
We need to have a quick one-on-one session,
Oh.
and you can resume back to your normal activities after that. So, so I don't think it's that hard.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is either. I think you just gotta be quiet.
There, you got pillows, socks.
Y'all know when I
Panties.
Right, draws.
I listened to this when
Straight up.
when I heard this topic, I was
Slow-
thinking about
Slow
soul food.
strokes.
Y'all remember soul
Cover
food?
them on.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
nobody-
Oh yeah, the soul food.
said-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't nobody remember what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh yeah, in the
When they-
bathroom.
In the bathroom
Yeah.
with Big Mama. Yeah.
That's what
Tom
I'm
looking
saying.
confused, bro.
You never
Have
seen
you
Soul Food? And that was
Movie
before your
Soul Food?
time.
Oh, you gotta watch Soul
It's been
Food,
a
bro.
long time.
You gotta watch
Yeah.
Soul
Yeah.
Food.
What was his
Long time.
name?
Omar.
No,
No,
but what was his name? Bird and
Yep.
dang.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I only seen that movie I think once or twice, and it's been a while.
Speaking of movies, we have another podcast channel called Enamored Movie Reviews. If you guys enjoy movies like I know we all do, please go to Enamored Movie Reviews and hit that subscribe button. We have a Chain Can Dunk discussion up just this morning. We also have Creed 3 discussion, which was very good. We do trailer reactions as well as...
That was random. Like
As well as,
Hey, listen, just as well as movie reviews, but seriously, y'all go ahead on over and check that out. Back to the conversation. Soul
Okay.
Food.
all right.
And we also do.
right.
But the reason I bring up Soul Food because it was double sided. There was the when Whatchamacallit was cheating. Y'all remember? And she walked in. Y'all have to. We said a lot of
yeah.
she. Listen,
Right.
we can't remember these character names after 30 years, so I'm just trying to listen. But she walked in.
Oh, when they was in the studio.
Yeah, ATM was up there. She walked in on the cousin. It was her cousin, right?
Yeah, it was her
Having sex
cousin.
with her husband, right? So, a situation like that, you don't want. I'm not talking about the cheating part. I'm
Right.
talking about
Wasn't it like in the studio?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
The studio.
in the
Uh-huh,
studio.
the dance studio.
I remember that.
Oh, now you remember it
remember
from
that.
being in the
That
studio.
scene, right?
So you want to have some type of discretion, man. You know you got guests coming over and stuff, man. You want to have some type of discretion and decency about it. You know, everybody don't need to see that
Or hear it.
Or hear it.
Right.
because that can haunt children as well when they hear it.
Yeah.
You know.
Uh-huh.
He was giving you
Oh,
his
his
whole
one.
spiel on how he.
Yeah, he said that's when he was talking about socks in the mouth, apples in the
got-
mouth.
you got-
He
I don't know about no apples. I don't want no apple juice in my bed.
talking about forearms.
Yeah, forearms, pillows, panties, drawers,
Lord,
Yeah.
Jesus.
whatever,
And he was
shirts.
dropping all them bombs on him.
Oh gosh.
Hey, I'm just saying, there's ways, you know, there's ways to stroke it too. You know, you just gotta.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Well, he
Wait.
being honest, you know. Well, I get it. I get what he's saying. So you can't be in there doing
Bang, 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 bang.
everybody hear that.
Right.
You know,
Can't be
Trey
just-
Or,
Songz.
Can't be
the
clapping.
neighbors know my
Trey
name.
Songz, neighbors know my name. They-
Right.
Yeah, you
Shut
can't
it.
you can't
You
be
gotta
clapping.
be quiet. Right.
You can't be
You
clapping.
better put a
nothing.
pillow behind that headboard. Just saying.
That pillow ain't gonna do a squat, okay?
Oh Lord.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying. You know what
well.
I'm saying.
No.
But like, yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking
Kind of hard
Oh,
doing all that
gosh.
all together, ain't it?
No, I
You
actually
said-
like the two views,
Oh.
but you just decided to.
'Cause they-
Seems like you want to be right here doing this.
Oh, okay.
No, no,
So,
Okay,
no.
but hold on, we got to get Marquita's. So Marquita, you know, because you've had
Cause
your
she's ready to
share
go
of
on to the
guests.
next subject.
Right? Yeah, she thought she was exempt. You've had your fair share of guests, so you know.
When I have had guests in the past, it wasn't. I knew when to have my person not there, so it was. We weren't. You
So
know,
you were scheduling,
right? It was
Gotcha.
scheduled. So
See, that's another way to do
Right.
it.
yeah, true. But I mean, when I did have some guests staying with me, there were times where they were like, they look at each other and they'll be like, "You want to go upstairs?"
Oh,
Yeah, I want to go upstairs. And they be like, what? And then they come back down smiling. So,
wow,
Head be messed up too.
wow, Lord, they need to get it together.
right, they did need to get it together, and I'm pretty sure they got it together.
Oh, wow.
Just had to recuperate a little bit.
So do we need to play back the memory?
No.
Oh no.
No.
Oh.
No.
Wait, hold on.
No playbacks.
What are we talking about?
Oh yeah.
Oh, y'all just gonna leave me out.
Oh, listen, I totally forgot. That's been
It's been-
about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh man, when we first moved to Charlotte, we stayed with Marquita. I totally forgot about it though. I don't know how, but I was not
So
thinking
y'all had
about
y'all's
that.
moment then, huh? Y'all had a
And I was just sitting downstairs like, they looked at each other. No, y'all was about to go
I really
somewhere.
forgot, yo.
And then you look, he was like, you want to go upstairs? Yeah, I want to go upstairs. I'm like,
Wow.
as I'm washing the dishes, like, okay, let
Yeah,
me
that's-
continue washing these
crazy.
dishes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was.
that's fun.
That's totally different.
That
was the question.
I said, don't play the memory, and here you go playing the memory.
Because I didn't put it together.
No,
but
you
look,
should have
hold
said
on
it
though.
off.
That was the question.
So that was part of a question.
No, that was the question in reverse though.
Right.
That's your damn guess.
Right. And that was what I was saying. One of the questions
shit.
were, including when you go
So this is
visit
some
your
passive-
friends
this is
or
some passive
family.
aggressive stuff. She tried to get it off her chest.
Yeah, she
Just say,
said,
"Hey,
look,
y'all just gonna be."
y'all remember that time? I'm going to bring it up right now. See?
Wow, bro.
Think about it.
Live.
But I'm
Right.
just saying, it was part of the original question.
Well,
She had time to think about this.
yeah, she did. She was plotting on that. She was like, how can I ease this topic into one of these episodes? Because I want to know. I got to say this. But it's true even when you go visit family, you be like, look,
Yeah.
I still got an itch.
Right.
You know, I still need it scratched. So I'm going to need something.
Right.
Okay. So,
Yeah, that was cute.
woo.
I don't know
Okay.
about scratch, but I know. I'm just playing.
I was about to say no.
I'm just playing. Not just playing.
This guy.
Right. Okay, so.
Can I get some more Henny?
Oh, Jesus.
No, absolutely not. You're done.
So, how do you all handle stress?
Scratching the itch.
Oh,
No.
and I was literally gonna be like, besides scratching the itch, how do you handle sex? I mean, sex stress.
Somebody needs some vitamin D. They need some drop
How
down
do you handle stress?
from the gods.
How do you handle stress?
Oh.
I don't handle stress well at all. If I can get, I know we trying to be lighthearted, but I handle stress very poorly. I displace anger. I lean towards like porn when I shouldn't be. No, I'm saying that's a serious conversation to have though, because porn is one of those things where and I like being transparent, but porn is one of those things that could lead to destroying your marriage, your household, and actually that is such a deep conversation. This should be on a whole nother show.
Yeah, so keep it brief.
Look,
I don't think he knows how to do that.
Of course not.
Right.
No, because it's still correlating. It's
Right.
my answer, man.
I get it.
Like I lean into that. That's where I shouldn't be. I done lost my train of thought because what she talking about.
But how is
yeah.
porn? I mean, is that a release? Like, as far as like sexual buildup? Like, how is porn?
So you
stress?
said stress. So let's say you're stressed about a situation, and I'm not. A lot of people do this as well. It's a poor coping mechanism, but you go to something that gives you that pleasure, because you realize when you have an orgasm, what's released is like I think they said like the same thing that's released when you exercise, when you hit like weights and stuff, right? It's the same chemical compound that's released.
Okay.
Trying to think of that word.
I'm trying to think of it too.
Is it?
I think it started with an O.
No, I thought it was like.
I want to say
dope.
fan.
Dopamine.
All these
Yes.
devices around here, ain't nobody even thought of. But anyway,
I believe it is
Like a
dopamine.
dopamine.
yeah, but no, you ain't got to. But I'm just saying, it's so in that thing also, what it's one of those double-edged sword type of things, because it also tells you that, it also reinforces that when you feel this way, this is what you need to do.
Well, I think that's equates to like people that eat when they're
Oh
stressed.
yeah.
So that's that's what gives them pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
They feel satisfied. I know a lot of people, and I even have a tendency to say it, even like with the girls. Get you some happy food because that's what I was also taught. But
I never heard that.
when you're stressed, get some happy food.
That's a thing, though.
Get comfort food. That's why they call it comfort food.
No, obviously I've been doing it. I'm saying that. I just never heard of. Like, get you some happy food,
Get you
like
some
a happy
food,
meal.
comfort food.
There's a lot
what
of
makes
food
you
that's-
happy.
that's,
You,
that's
right.
correlated to like stress. There's like certain foods that you eat
Yeah.
will actually a lot of if you're eating a lot of something, like let's say 1 week you're just eating a lot of bread or carbs or like cake, cookies, whatever. Those are usually stress, depression, foods that people just grab onto first. We don't think about it 'cause we just think, oh, it's just something. It's it's just comfort food, just the way that we've been taught what it is but that's also when people are going through a lot of stress. That's why there is a lot of overeating and stuff like that, because when we're stressed, that's the first thing we do. We just go eat instead of making a conscious decision of what to eat. Where we can eat something else that can actually help our stress. Because those type of foods, they satisfy the moment, but it doesn't fix the problem.
Right.
Usually especially in like a relationship, usually it's always communication or whatever. So like if you don't fix the problem, you're going to continue to go to those certain things. And if you continue to keep those type of items in the household, that's of course that's the first thing you're going to think of and the first thing you're going to go after when you're in those certain situations.
That's true. So I guess it can be equivalent to how you cope with it.
I'm sorry. I don't know why every time I'm zoned out or something, y'all got everybody look like they always talk.
You look like you about to say
Right,
something.
you was about to say something, so we was like
No,
waiting.
because I'm sitting here. Y'all know this is our first time using this. I don't know if they can actually hear us right now. I'm looking at the meter going off, but I'm thinking that's coming from the tablet, right? I think we were supposed to set something else up. So I was just like, dang, yo, this episode gonna be messed up. And it's actually kind of good. It ain't the best by any means, but it's actually an okay episode.
That just means you'll have to release it. You still have audio.
Yeah, it'll just be audio.
Release it a different way.
That's cool. I mean,
It's cool.
Yeah, that's if I
figured
did it
it
wrong.
out.
It may be working.
Don't
but,
let that be a stress for you.
oh
Right.
my gosh. Yeah.
So Eb, how do you handle stress?
I don't know. I can't. I don't think that I handle it well. I typically try to suppress feelings, right? Because I always feel like, oh, this is not the time and the place to. So I tend to just suppress how I feel and try to keep moving. It does build up over time, but I think I do okay. Granted, when your mind is going 1,000 miles a minute or whatever. I don't necessarily stress eat. I may not look like it, but I don't stress eat. Typically, if I'm stressed or upset, I actually don't eat. Because it's too much going on for me. So I think for me, it's more just trying to bottle it up. And at times, I have bottled it up to the point that I get to that peak and it's running over. And now it's like a Coca-Cola bottle with Mentos. Now it's about to explode.
Right.
Type deal. So, yeah.
I understand that. I've for the longest time I've dealt with that same thing, which I mean I still deal with that now. But like growing up, it was always hard to express feelings in the household. Especially with my parents, it was it was one way or no way.
Right.
So there was no expressing anything, and I was raised in a household. What stays here, what happens here stays here.
Right.
So there was no communicating nothing. So everything had to be suppressed.
Right.
So you when you grow up like that, that's the only way you really know. So for me, I used a lot of times I use gym to exercise, whatever, to in a way to, I guess, help me release it. But at the end of the day, it was still build up because the problem was never solved. It was just a way for me to I guess, suppress it and then hold on to it. But I guess with me going to the gym, you are releasing some type of stress. So it made it easier to actually suppress it, actually keep it in and not blow up.
Right.
But at the same time, it wasn't helping me. I've I've realized that even when it is those certain times when we feel like it's not a right time, it's honestly never a right time to actually talk about a difficult conversation or something that we feel is not or is not as important for us to we can think like, oh, it's just something small, but especially when it builds over time, becomes something bigger. So whether it's big or small, it's very helpful for us to just go ahead and just let it out. And we all got that one person that, well, no matter what it is, we can talk about it. So I mean, I would that's one thing that I would always push people to do is when you find that one individual that you can actually just talk to, just let it out, because at the end of the day, I mean, it's gonna help you because you got it out. It's not in there no more.
Right.
So there's no building that. It's no building that up because there's nothing to build off of. It's out.
Right.
Also, especially with in the last year, I've learned to. My lady's been helping me to actually pray more, and just being positive, because we're stuck in a negative mindset of this world is stuck in a negative mindset. So we continue to feed off of that. We're gonna be in the same predicament. So we stay positive, and pray about it, and keep the faith in His hands. A lot of times things do come out better. It might not be at the very moment that we want it to, but when we continue to be consistent, persistent, and and faithful, and just positive, everything comes out at the end of the day. Everything works out.
Right.
Even though there are times that it's hard, there are some harder times to do so than others. But there's a lot of times you got to talk to yourself like, hey, no, don't do that. Just constantly keep telling yourself that, because I mean, that's gonna help you in the long run to further gain that positivity. So when those certain situations or that level of another situation comes up, you know how to deal with it.
Right.
You're stronger than you were before. So it's no matter what level you're at, every day is a building block.
Right.
Whether it's emotionally, physically, financially, whatever it is.
I think as you guys were talking, I was thinking like it's like a fine line between stress and anger. Are either it is stress can lead to anger.
I think stress can lead to a lot. Because like you said, while we were talking about it, I was thinking the same thing. Like, where do you draw the line between stress and it converting over to depression? For people that do suffer with depression, where is that middle line? So I think with anger, it would be the same way.
I personally, and I don't know if this is, and it would be good if we had like a yeah, we should probably reach out and we can probably touch this again. But I'm not saying this again. Disclaimer: I'm not saying this is the correct way of doing this. But I personally deal with stress sometimes by like, I don't want to say avoiding it, but I just be like, man, F that, man. So I'm just moving on. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. It ain't even that serious. Because oftentimes when you really think about it, stuff just don't be that serious.
It don't.
We make it seem like it's that serious, but it ain't even that serious. I think we were just talking about this on our Chain Can Dunk discussion, right, man?
Yep.
We were talking about in the form of a child. They look at stuff and they're just like, "Oh my God, my world is falling apart," you know. And we be looking on the outside as an adult because we don't been there, done that.
Right.
We like, man, just
You got
chill
nothing
out,
to worry
man. What are
about.
you talking about, bro? It's
Right.
not that serious,
Right.
bro. Like, but
That is
for
our
them in
face
that
card.
moment,
It
it
is.
is.
Right.
And as adults, even as adults, we're in that 30 decade right now. That 40 and 50 decade are looking at it like, man, y'all got plenty of time. Like, hey, what are you talking about? Y'all doing very well, a lot better than I was. You know,
Right.
you looking at where I'm at right now. You want what I got right now. Well, you don't know my story. You know that you don't know my story. You know what I'm talking about? Serious, don't no. I'm being for real. This guy, the looks is irritating, but and this is that stress that I'm talking about. That daily stress.
Oh, Jesus.
But
Hey, Eb, don't be
you know,
stressing him out.
you don't know the things that I've gone through.
Right.
Right. Since I can't sing it, I just say the words. Oh, that's another one. Since I can't. No, okay, never mind.
My bad. The face.
Yeah, the face.
The face
Oh,
did it again. I
gosh.
apologize.
But anyway,
You
but
like you
seriously.
told me today.
Right. Your face is showing.
Right.
But seriously, man, it's like, stuff just doesn't be that serious. But that may not. But what I'm saying, remember that disclaimer I said. That may not be the healthy way of dealing
Right.
with it.
Right.
It may be like, yo, you avoiding it. It's you gotta tackle it. You gotta meet that thing head on because, and again, we need to talk to an expert about this. But really, what is an expert? What is an expert?
Just
Right?
listening to
They're
you,
just
Ben.
somebody. No, it's not even that. It's like an expert is someone that has, because everything is learned through trial and error. So even a doctor, I remember telling my cousin this before. Even a doctor, we give these guys degrees and we say, oh man, that person has a doctorate in such and such, and they are a doctor of whatever. I'm not just talking about medical doctor, but any doctor, right? So all of that is saying is that you learned from a whole bunch of people who went through trial and error. Because at the beginning of it all, did nobody have nothing. You had to try and figure out what was the best practice for overall. May not be the best practice for every case because chemo is not necessarily the best way to tackle cancer for every patient.
True.
But it's overall thought of as the number one way to go, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying is what works for Marquita or Dom may not necessarily equate to what works for me. But there's a therapist out there that thinks that this works for most of my 99% of my patients. So I'm just gonna no, because the way I deal with stress may be good for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, I do think that just because I have gone through therapy sessions myself, there isn't a one size fits all or one size fits most. They have different strategies for you to try out when you're talking, right? So they may tell you, okay, well, this week, this is what I want you to work on. I want you to work on and try this. And then let me know how you feel. See how that worked for you. If not, they have so many other methods and coping mechanisms out there. So it's not just, oh, this is the standard rule that's going to go for everybody when it comes to dealing with stress. But like you said, they did have to study it in order to know, hey, this may work, this may not work, this may work, this may not work.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, don't feel like if it's not harming you, causing you some harm, or causing those around you some harm, then it doesn't necessarily mean that it's probably not healthy. But again, that's why we have disclaimers. I'm not a professional. I'm just putting out my opinion. I'm just laying down my opinion.
But when you're in a relationship, if what may work for you may not work for how you cope with stress may not be beneficial to your spouse. So how do you find that balance? Like, you may be able to bottle it up, but I may feel like
I'm dealing with stress right now.
See?
Oh,
See?
No, I'm dealing with stress at this moment because I bought a kitchen timer. We were at Walmart. Good example. I bought a kitchen timer. My wife said, hey, don't. She said, listen, you're going to have to keep that over there by you because this thing is killing me. I moved. I don't know if y'all remember at the beginning of this episode, I picked that kitchen timer up and moved it over there. This incessant ticking is killing me, and it's really causing me stress right now. It's just.
Well, put your headphones.
I told him when he decided to buy this timer.
This is the last time we're using it. This is the last time we're using it. Don't worry about it.
We have a whole Google back there with the timer on it.
I'm just gonna stick to Google, man. I just thought it was kind of tacky with the whole. Okay. Oh, you know how Google activate, but with the whole, hey Siri, turn 45-minute timer on. I was like, I want to stop that. So I thought I could. I didn't know it would make all this freaking noise.
Yeah.
So it's stress. It's literally causing me stress. Now, how am I going to cope with this? First and foremost, it's going in the trash.
Okay.
Secondly, I think I'm going to simply I talked about it. We laughed about it, right? I shared it with some people. That's I think. See, a lot of people lately. There's been a degradation of the Bible, but a lot of people throw Bible to the wind now. They act like it's not real or something is fake, right? And that's cool. That's whatever. It's not cool for me, but it's cool for them. But it also, the Bible teaches us to take our issues, take your sins, and talk. You get what I'm saying? There's a reason for that.
Right.
See, everything has its foundation, man. There's so many lessons in there. You know what I'm saying? If you would follow it, your life would be a whole lot easier, right? But don't nobody follow it because everybody's too cool. You know, everybody's so creative. You know,
a lot of people just don't take the time to understand it.
The Bible, yeah. No, I don't even know if it's that. I think that they overstand it.
What do you mean by that?
They don't know what that means. A lot of I'm not. I'm being for real. They be sitting here talking about I overstand. I'm gonna drop some jewels on you, man. Oh my God!
When they say overstand, because they don't want nobody standing or them under them. Like when they say overstand, they want to be over you, not under you.
I don't think that's quite what it is. I think what. You may be
I
right.
I
though.
can see what she's saying.
I think that she may be correct because these guys are special. But I think that they were saying that they don't have an understanding of it, which means to them they don't just up under, like, I don't understand it. It's I overstand.
Huh?
These educated brothers, man. You gonna meet them one day. These are super educated. These super educated
I didn't
brothers.
know what you talk about because I'm pretty sure I've met one.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's some super educated brothers out here who just got all the knowledge of all the world. They just, like they've been here for 5,000 years and they seen it all. But overstanding is like, I understand it so well that I know everything about it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So anyway, they overstand the Bible.
Okay.
And being that I don't know anything about it, you know what I'm saying? That's how they know it's trash and it's fake. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, the Bible actually has a lot of lessons in it. Even if you don't believe in it, there's a lot of great foundational lessons for life in the Bible. I don't even understand how you could just toss that, to the wind. There ain't nothing new that we've done that's not in there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
A lot of people, Pat, don't even think about it because they don't believe. When you don't believe in something, you're not gonna waste your time.
Right.
And religion is all about belief.
Yeah.
So if you don't believe in it, then you're not gonna put the time and effort into something you don't believe.
Oh, I will also say this, and I feel led to say this. Religion can be very unhealthy. And I say religion, and I want to say that because if I'm stressing, if I'm having an emotional breakdown, and I go to my parents, and instead of them saying, "Hey, let's take and see if we can get you some therapy," they'll say, "Let's go talk to the pastor," and the pastor's going to say, "Oh, you just need to pray." And that has destroyed our community for quite some time, man. Just thinking that prayer is going to change everything. Well, prayer does. Prayer in conjunction with some common tools that even Christ said. You get what I'm saying?
Without works is dead.
Right. So listen, we have got to stop this whole, man, I'm just going to take everything to the preacher man. I'm just going to take everything to this quote unquote, I ain't going to say imaginary altar, but this mental altar. Just throw it to God. He's going to handle it. No, man, you gonna have to like God gave us each other to lean on. You know, He gave us brethren, right?
Right.
We gonna have to use some actual tactical tools to handle a lot of situations that everything includes God, but that doesn't necessarily mean going to church. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think that we got a lot of stuff confused because that's what I mean by religion. Religion to me is like you putting on airs. Like you're trying to keep up airs. You're trying to religion is like I need to wear a suit when I go to church.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If y'all can follow my analogy. Mm-hmm. Literally and in an analogy. Religion is like, man, I'm just putting on this air of I'm showboating, so to speak. Mm-hmm. It's not I don't really have a relationship with Christ. Because if I really had a relationship with Christ, I would not approach things the way that I do. I would know that, hey, when my daughter comes to me and says, hey man, I'm having these thoughts or blah blah blah, then I need to say, hey, I need to take you to go see a therapist or something. Let me get you some help because I don't have the tools in my toolbox to help you myself. Right? And talking and praying is not made. You may not be mature enough or have that relationship with Christ yet that's going to help you. Right. You get what I'm saying? So that's why God put people down here that felt the need to go to school for this and go get that doctorate. You get what I'm saying? In this area and they have a whole bunch of tools. If this don't work, I got something else for you. If this don't work, I got something else. Out of your problem, we got 30 options. One of them might fit you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, I was also thinking too. I definitely agree with you. You know, when you go to an individual like that, all they tell you is pray. I feel like for somebody in that position, there's always a scripture that's related to something that you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. So to me, it'd be more beneficial if you're gonna get advice from somebody in that position for them to follow, get a scripture for you, have you read it. Maybe they need to break it down for you, but then relate it to what we're actually, to today's time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cause I like I said, I definitely agree with you. I feel like we just throw the word prayer out there. Oh, you need to pray. You need to pray. What I need to pray for, or what I need to pray about. Right. Some people just need that guidance. So if you're a pastor, you're a deacon, whatever. Somebody comes to you for advice like that. It'd be good for you to actually open up the Bible and be like, let's look at the scripture.
Right.
Because you're obviously coming from me to, from advice from God. So this is where, his word. So let's actually open the book up and let's read what he's got to say.
Right.
And then since, these individuals did, learn about the Bible, how and what these scriptures are actually talking about, they can actually help break it down to where it's relatable to what we're dealing with today and what's going on in our times.
Right.
Love it, bro.
Definitely.
Man, I appreciate y'all. Coming again to another episode, man. Y'all heard the kitchen timer. Y'all will not hear it again. That's the last time. Yo, lovely conversation, man. I think I'm gonna pick a few of these topics up and carry them forward, man.
And we still have one more left that we gotta pick up for the next show.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, man.
All right, we out.